have looked deeply, except parochial, tribal, ethnic divisive politics, there is nothing this government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing.
Sunwumi is spot on. This is Tinubu's modus operandi. Examples abound. We'll show them in a moment. While many might say they don't know where Sunwumi stands because of the way he criticized P2B a few days ago for demarketing Nigeria when opposition is supposed to unite against the APC. Today he will criticize an opposition member. Tomorrow he will criticize Tinubu. But that still doesn't negate the fact that what he's saying is not correct. Also, to show that he's not against P2B politically, he poured encomiums on him in a recent event. We'll see that in a moment. Now, there's something Nigerians must understand. In politics, many politicians that can't compete based on competence. They don't even have confidence in themselves, not to talk of convincing people that they are competent to do the job. They resort to all sorts of methods to gain advantage. And one such method they resort to is religion and tribalism. They whip up all sorts of sentiments in order to draw the people to their side, in order to create an artificial division between Nigerians. Remember, politics affects everyone. A single political decision can send you back to your village. It can render you useless. It can make you lose your entire investment. But they bring tribalism into it and tell you this person wants to take over your land, he wants to take over your state, he wants to do this, he wants to do that, as if that matters, as if you've not been living with this person for years. All these are targeted at weak minds in order to divide them and create artificial enmity between them and the people they live with. So you can understand why Lagos was the focus of ethnic politics during the presidential election campaigns in 2023. They knew ab initio they would lose Lagos State. Yes, not just because of the fact that there are many ethnicities living in Lagos. It was the fact that even within themselves, within APC, there are many that don't like him. They might vote APC in governorship elections, but the presidential, they made a choice. Yes, the choice was very clear to them, especially many that lived through the time when he was governor of Lagos State. So their resort to ethnic politics was just a way of drawing a few people to their side, weak minds who mostly have made up their minds not to vote him. But immediately they sprinkle that ethnic politics, they change their minds. If you're a foreigner watching this, you might be thinking, how crazy can people be? Why play ethnic politics when the issue at hand doesn't affect a particular ethnicity? It affects everyone. But it happened. And the worst part was that they were able to recruit more people, and it must have obviously increased their confidence because they went haywire during the election. They disenfranchised thousands of people, prevented them from voting. In fact, many of the people that were prevented from voting are also of the same ethnicity as Tinubu. They couldn't differentiate between them and the people they were targeting.
You don't have right to vote in our own
state. This thug had the audacity to tell fellow citizens to go back to their states and vote there, that they will not be allowed to vote in the polling units in Lagos State. This was widespread during the elections of 2023. And they succeeded in disenfranchising thousands, if not millions, because when the first videos went viral on social media, many just didn't bother to go out to vote. Yes, and all the beneficiaries were APC members, because these thugs were working for them. They are their foot soldiers. And they never commented on it. Neither did they condemn it. Muhammadu Buhari was the president then. He never uttered a single comment against that. Tinubu himself never said anything. He has never said anything till today. Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, he never commented or condemned it, that it is wrong to disenfranchise anyone from voting. Also, apart from foot soldiers who enforced the disenfranchisement of thousands of people based on their ethnicity, there were also people that were later compensated, people that spread hate speech. Someone like this man, Bayo Onanuga, you can see some of his statements during the election. He openly spread hate speech against an ethnic group. He targeted them because of politics, just because of where they come from. But no one reprimanded him. Instead, he was rewarded by Tinubu with an appointment. He's currently a senior special assistant on media to Tinubu. So you can understand that he's not hiding it. This is his modus operandi. If he can't win free and fair election, if he's not better than that person, he will devise other means to make sure he wins that person. He will employ all sorts of methods, including playing tribal ethnic politics, including rigging everything. Today, many have put the events of 2023 behind them. Some are still stigmatized because they not only enforced the disenfranchisement, they were violent about it. They assaulted many people, some were wounded, they hurt many people, they did all sorts of things just to gain an advantage. But despite the fact that they used all sorts of methods to gain power, they still haven't moved on. The ethnic baiting still continues till today. Also, it's very important to note that this ethnic division is not limited to people of other ethnic groups. People of the same ethnic group as him face serious discrimination. They call them bastards, people who don't have fathers, just because they refuse to bow to one man. These people are so enlightened that they cannot be bamboozled by whipping up ethnic politics. These are the people that voted against him in Lagos. They spread that narrative that it was only outsiders or people of other ethnic groups that voted against him. No, even his own people voted against him. They just don't want to accept the fact that he's not even popular amongst his own people. These people are so enlightened, they can distinguish between him and other competent people. They know his past, they know everything about him. They cannot even choose him as a leader in their own community, not to talk of choosing him as president. Tinubu in Anambra, where he bagged a chieftaincy title. All their foot soldiers are busy posting images claiming Anambra in the bag because ABGA adopted Tinubu as their presidential candidate in 2027. They are not referring to anyone in these images as IPOB like they used to say. Anyone that posts anything that is against what they are doing, the person is labeled IPOB just because of where he comes from. No one is making any fuss about this because it's just politics. Never mind whatever Soludo is saying. Even his own family will vote against him. Yes, he knows. They take politics, election as an exam. If you fail in electing the right person, especially presidential elections, you have failed an exam. You can look back in history, especially in the Fourth Republic, how they've been voting in the Southeast. They might be getting it wrong at the state level. They can vote for any person just based on their interest. But voting for a man who can devalue your naira, who can send you back to the village, you have to take it as an exam. You have to make sure you pass that exam. So it's nothing special. Imagine what Nigerians can achieve when they rise above ethnic politics, when they can look politicians in the eye and say, no, this is not what interests me. What interests me is, how are you going to turn around my fortunes? Don't tell me about who wants to take over my land. No, what you should ask that person is, how do you plan to turn around the economy of Nigeria? Even if it's to take it back to where you met it, at least that can be acceptable by Nigerians. Because many Nigerians know how rich they were in 2023. That's early 2023, before the calamity struck. Yes, if he can take us back to that place, we will gladly accept and rejoice. Then if there's an added advantage, if there's an increment in the economy, then we can all say, he has done better. But the audacity of impoverishing Nigerians and still telling Nigerians to their faces, you can't do anything. I will still stay there for 8 years. There's nothing you can do. That's adding insult to injury. But will Nigerians tolerate? 2027 will determine how desperate Nigerians really are. Now let's hear what Sunwumi said about Peter Obi.
Do not be deceived. The future is with you people. You know, I'm a BDB man. The future is Labour Party. We will not pretend about it. That's the future. Now listen to the second one. The closest to anything that resembles a disruption of the system for the emancipation of the Nigerian people is Peter Obi. Make no mistake about it. What I have bothered myself with, is how to ensure that before he gets too old and too tired, how do we make him win? You know why? Because I don't even see any replacement in the horizon. Every damn one of